one of the saddest stories in One Piece has finally arrived, along with the famous God Valley incident beginning to unfold. The purest trash of humanity, the Tenryubito, once again show their wickedness in one of the saddest chapters of the series. Let's discuss this amazing chapter of One Piece 1095. So loading. Hello, everyone, welcome to the channel, and here we are with another chapter of One Piece, one of those mind-blowing chapters. But before we dive into it, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell. That way, you won't miss any of our new videos. Without further ado, let's get into the video. Starting with the cover art, it's another intriguing piece where we see a monkey stealing Buggy's nose. Well, it's another fan request, but One Piece fans take theories to a whole new level, and some have already started speculating. Could it be a foreshadowing by Oda, suggesting that Buggy will find One Piece, and Luffy will snatch it right from under the clown's nose? Mean Tatum. Well, there's a mini theory for this scene. Now, let's move on to the chapter. Part 1, Utter Despair. A new level of danger emerges. The chapter begins with the Marines running and shouting. As mentioned in the previous chapter, anyone below Vice Admiral shouldn't stay on the island. It's dangerous. We've already seen one losing their head over it. At every moment, they scream, realizing the immense authority that those who rule the world possess. Then we see what happened to Saturn after taking a sword to the chest, and nothing happened. In fact, Saturn scolds the Vice Admirals who were concerned. Shut up, insects. If I wanted to, I would have dodged it. With these words and his eyes turning white again, Bonnie is struck by a strange power, probably the same one that blew up the Marine's head in the previous chapter. Of course, Sanji is the first to react, and finally, the scene many theorized would happen occurs. Sanji versus Gorosei. Well, not exactly. Sanji takes the same blow to the head, and it's game over. We see the chef bleeding and already panting. Note that Sanji's scene is very similar to Sabo's scene in the chapter, bleeding and panting. At the same time, Saturn pulls the sword out of his chest, and the blood simply vanishes. We have a new power level here, folks, and this display of power messes up everyone's top tier that many had in mind. We have the Gorosei level. Yes, this level exists and seems to be superior to the Yonko level. Saturn showed an extraordinary regeneration, a strange ocular power powerful enough to hurt Sanji, a Yonko commander, and all of this without even starting to fight. When you elevate the Gorosei level, you automatically raise Im-sama's level even higher. After this chapter, Im-sama takes the top spot on my list of the strongest characters in the series. Im-sama and the Gorosei must be among the top 6 most powerful characters in the series right now. Part 2. Show me your luck, Nika. The Vice Admirals want to prove themselves to their boss and want to go after Vegapunk immediately, but they are stopped by the Gorosei themselves. Vegapunk is surrounded. He has nowhere to run, says the authority, while torturing Bonnie by squeezing her in his hand. Saturn tells Kizaru that his work is very slow this time, and Kizaru says he won't be able to move for a while. Here we have a deadlock because there are 3 reasons Kizaru might have said that. 1. He was really paralyzed by Luffy's power. 2. Saturn, who is using a power that paralyzes people there, is also affecting Kizaru. 3. He is pretending because he doesn't want to kill Vegapunk. Continuing. Saturn tries to kill Luffy, but Frankie saves him using a strong right. Luffy is aged and exhausted. He is quite astonished that even the highest authorities in the world are after his captain's head. Saturn says that Bonnie and Luffy's entry into Egghead was truly unexpected, but now they are surrounded on an island on the brink of destruction. If there's any chance of them escaping from there, I would love to see it. And this line caught my attention. On several occasions where we see the Gorosei, it seems they have noticed that a destiny has been guiding Luffy, something supernatural. And he wants to see it with his own eyes. The Gorosei wants to challenge destiny. Maybe that's why he didn't want the Vice Admirals to capture Vegapunk right away. What will you do, Luffy? There's no way out. While continuing to torture Bonnie by squeezing her tighter, Saturn says something curious. You humans always do what you're told not to do. This line of his might strengthen the theory that the Gorosei are indeed demons, not human. Saturn always addresses other people as if they were of different races. However, we know that all Tenryubito consider themselves gods, and being the highest echelon of these people, Saturn might simply see himself as a god. Sanji and Vegapunk panic. Sanji asks if the others can't move either, and they confirm this. Saturn might be using a type of paralyzing power, or maybe even an invisible web, since he is a spider. Part 3. Kuma's Race and the Legend of Nika. Crushed, Bonnie accuses Saturn of killing her father. Saturn then says, "Ah, yes, he's been a slave since birth, from a race that committed a grave crime against us. Then the last race is presented to us, the Buccaneers, who are not giants but are born with giant blood." At this moment, we can see Vegapunk's expression. He probably didn't know this information. Then Saturn lifts Bonnie and orders them to shoot her in the head. At this moment, Bonnie starts to remember her father's words. "Since childhood, I wanted to be a hero, capable of freeing those who are suffering, just like Nika, the warrior of liberation." Following his rhythm and with a smile on his face. While Sanji and Vegapunk scream in despair, Bonnie recalls her father's words. "He will free me too." Of course he will. Then, we begin a flashback. But before we delve into the flashback, I think it's pretty clear what's going to happen here. Let's jump to a quick theory. I believe Bonnie will start making the drum sounds she used to make with her father. And Luffy might revert to his Nika form, but even more powerful this time. However, this is just a guess, and I believe it will take a while to happen. We might be entering a quite long flashback now. Let's get into it. Part 4, Kuma's sad past begins, and the truth about God Valley. 47 years ago, Kuma was born. We see his native island of Sorbet. We find out that Kuma's father belongs to a different race. The doctor who delivered him says he won't reveal anything, but of course, he lied and got caught, along with his entire family. They became slaves of the Tenryubito. Kuma's father tries to bargain, saying his wife and son are different, but to no avail. We witness heartbreaking scenes of how they were treated in their life of slavery. Kuma's father talks about Kuma's mother's death and asks him to be strong because the warrior of liberation, Nika, the sun god, will save them one day. So, Nika teaches Kuma the drum sounds, but he is brutally killed by a Tenryubito for making too much noise. We then jump 38 years back, to an event called the Natives Eradication Tournament, held every 3 years. And this year, the location chosen was God Valley. A place audacious enough to be named God Valley, abundant with resources. The local king becomes nervous and questions the insanity of such a game, but he is brutally killed by none other than Figureland Garling, who looks remarkably like a younger version of Shanks. We then see the continuation of the flashback Bonnie saw in chapter 1074. Kuma had escaped from this event but was recaptured. It's revealed that San Saturno is present in God Valley. While Kuma cries, we hear two voices, Ivankov, who was also there, and a mysterious girl, smiling and eating meat. Her name is Ginny. she provides information that she is Ivanov's sister, although it could be a real sister or a step-sibling like Luffy and Sabo, given their apparent differences. Here comes the big theory of the chapter. Who is Ginny? Initially, based on the descriptions and the spoilers, I thought she might be Luffy's mother, and that possibility still exists. Reasons being she likes meat, is cheerful, and foolish, 3 strong traits of Luffy. But she could also be Bonnie's mother. Judging by her appearance, this option seems plausible. Or, Bonnie might be a clone of her. Well, there are many possibilities, and I will explore these theories in other videos. Unfortunately, there will be a break next week. As I mentioned in a part of the video, I believe this flashback will take several chapters, perhaps around 3 or 4. I even begin to think that chapter 1100 might feature Luffy awakening to the sound of the liberation drums. Now, how far will this flashback go? Will we learn about Zebek? Well, who knows? Another possibility for chapter 1100 is Zebek arriving in God Valley. And to conclude, a question everyone must be asking now: why did Garp and Roger join forces to defeat them? That's it. Next week, I will bring many theories. Stay tuned. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell. Until next time, thank you.